So in the past, I've never committed to a studio teleprompter because basically in none of the more affordable ones came without vignetting on the sides, at least for the wide angle lens that I'm using on this camera. They're all just too compact, and the added clunkiness of using a phone app to drive it didn't seem like a fantastic feature either, so I still tried to get one, and that would be the Parrot Pro through their own campaign, but that turned out to be a scam in the end. And out of nowhere, Elgato announced their own prompter, and it seemed like just the thing that I was waiting for. Quick disclaimer, I got this device from Elgato for review, but everything said in this video is my own opinion and is not influenced by Elgato in any way. So how good is Elgato's new teleprompter? Let's find out. We'll do the usual, the good, the bad, and the ugly, starting with the good. Supports wide-angle lenses, something most other prompters in this price range cannot do. This is shot on a 16mm Sigma f1.4, which is an APS-C lens, on a Sony a6400, and the prompter, since it's very light, means that it can hang from the lens and it doesn't require any additional mounts. It comes with many different mounting options, but I always try to go for the lens mounting rings if possible. There's no noticeable color or brightness change, there's no ND filter effect. This is crucial for low light environments like this, where you're struggling with high ISO already, and the screen is plenty bright, so you need to lower the brightness in a studio, otherwise it will shine a very bright light on you, which will affect your shot. Now, the big game changer feature. This thing is a monitor. No more phones, no file transfers, no remote controls, just connected through USB to your computer and it instantly pops as an extra monitor. It's not really color accurate, it's relatively small resolution, but you can do all kinds of things with it. For example, I like to have the script as an overlay on top of the camera preview, which is barely visible, but it's good enough to see if I'm in frame and I kind of get to talk to myself, I suppose. You can also put an extra crosshair on your head if you want to further help with positioning yourself in the middle. Of course, if you really have to, you can use the prompter with a phone. In a pinch, you can even put it on top of the existing monitor, but obviously that's not recommended. It's better to have it mounted. And as far as controlling the prompter actions with the Elgato Stream Deck, yes, that works really well. Overall, there are a lot of positives, and it's hard to cover everything in a video of this format. But as you might expect, all of this comes with a few problems. So let's talk about the bad. The ghosting. It's definitely present on the sample that I'm using right now. I mean, I hate it, but I also understand that white text on dark background on the teleprompter will result in some kind of ghosting on top of the letters, usually. Whether it's the type of glass or the alignment, I don't know. The guys from Elgato confirmed this isn't intended, but it's kind of within acceptable range. Now, how big of a deal is this? Well, if you're sitting far and you have a more zoomed in lens, you probably wouldn't notice it, as the font will have to be bigger and effectively hides it. But if you're on a wide angle lens like I am and you're sitting pretty close, well, you're just gonna have to learn to live with it. You can mitigate it with certain tricks, but yeah, it is there. If you don't know what kind of effect this triggers, it basically makes you feel like you forgot to put your glasses on, let's say. Just so you don't think it's only me, I went to check other reviews and I've found multiple examples of the same exact ghosting that these other people were having, but they usually didn't mention it. Some reviewers had none at all on the video. That might mean that it's some kind of faulty batch that went out, and I'm one of the people that got it. This is definitely something for Elgato to look into. Now, next up, USB-A on the PC end in combination with no power switch. I mean, the prompter is always going to be on. There's an option in the app to turn it off, but basically that just dims the display. It doesn't turn it off. The display itself and the mirror casing come in one giant piece, and it basically makes it impossible to use outdoors or when you're traveling. Then again, you should know that before you buy a studio teleprompter, which basically this product is. It's only for a studio. And on top of that, it's USB. Just so you know, the prompter is big enough to fully cover the flippy preview screen on your camera, so keep that in mind when you're planning your setup around this teleprompter. Luckily, this thing is a monitor, so you can just have the preview on the prompter if you're using like a cam link. And you can have the preview even while the script is running. I mean, heck, I use it all the time as a preview, even when I'm streaming or just recording something random. As an added bonus, you're looking straight at the camera when you're looking at the preview. Now, I own a bunch of Elgato products, and there's a common theme between them. The hardware usually is very solid, but the software tends to be lacking. This product seems slightly affected by this issue too. If you want to use the native software for the prompter, you need to use Elgato's Camera Hub. They've just added a bunch of great features which make it a lot better, but some things are still missing. For example, the text editor isn't really an editor. It's just a text box that you can put text into. You can create chapters manually, or they can be created for you if you paste in normal text. But many usual features, like bullet points, aren't supported, making it effectively useless to edit text. If you just try to paste in a text with bullet points, it will create just one giant wall of text. There's no undo, redo functionality, but they are actively improving it, so there's hope that this will be a very, very good software to use. And now we come to the ugly. One could argue that the price is too high, since it's like 300 euro, but guys, it's capitalism. They kind of have the monopoly on this exact niche. I think I remember times when an Elgato cam link costed 300 euro, but as it is right now, they can charge as much as they want, really. There's a bunch of independent reviews out. You be the judge if it's the right thing for you or not. There really isn't anything that is straight terrible on this product. I would say this is a very good product, and it's not something that I say about new products these days. So big props to Elgato for releasing this. And that is it for this review. I'll be using this daily for videos and for streams, and I'm sure the Elgato team will be working on more improvements over time, and I suggest to keep following the development of the prompter. Maybe there's some things that don't suit you that well. Maybe you didn't decide to buy yet, but maybe in 6 months it will have everything that you need. So, do I recommend it? Yes, I do. It's not for everyone. It's a studio prompter, but it's the best thing that creators can have under 300 euro. So, what are your thoughts on the Elgato prompter? Let me know in the comments below. If this video helped you make your decision on the purchase, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.